I appreciate the opportunity to get to teach you guys. You know, I'm not here every day, but my role is to be the lead outfitter for these new units. So today we got a lot going on, a lot of different teaching methods and different things, but we're going to rock and roll, and at the end you're going to know the basic things that I'm showing you today. I'm confident you're going to do that. We're going to have a little assessment at the end. So here's today's plan. We're going to chat about things for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to do individual, group, and team. That's what I call it in football. The individuals where I'm going to teach you guys what we're going over today. Then we're going to do group work where we're going to learn together. We're all going to teach each other. I think you guys will like that. And then at the end, we're going to tie it all in with a, I call it team period, but it'll be the whole class where we do a little assessment, okay? And then everyone has an index card in front of you. Everyone has a handout that's 2 sides. You don't need to worry about the back side. You just need to worry about the front side there that has the lesson on it. I'm going to let you use technology a little bit during your group, which I'll explain in a minute. But before we get going on that, what's going on in the school? Football game. Who's going to the football game Friday? 4 hours away? Y'all can't make it? Did y'all hear about the football game last Friday?
Yes, we were there.
What, you were there? Oh yeah. That was the wildest game, one of the wildest I've ever been a part of. Because we were terrible in the first half, and then the second half we set like state records. So y'all supporting the football team? Y'all excited? What else is going on in the school? Coach Spinks had the state cross-country meet I didn't even know about. The Saturday I was in shock from winning that game. Friday I didn't even know to support you, Coach. Anybody else? What's going on in the school? Basketball game today? First one of the year. All right, now here's some other things. You have 2 pieces of candy in front of you. That didn't. There was a reason for that. As you contribute to this lesson, everyone's going to contribute at least twice. When you contribute, you can eat your candy. You're on the honor system. You just eat yours? You're on the honor system. So when you contribute in your group, you're going to have 2 tasks. Everyone's going to have 2 tasks. But if you want to add to it by participating, by speaking out, you can go ahead and eat your candy. You like that? We're elementary. So let's move on.
Just click the button.
All right. Is anyone who wants to offer up? Once again, I wasn't in here yesterday. What was the lesson yesterday that's leading into the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which is our lesson today? Who wants to fill me in? You can eat your candy. Someone's going to have to fill me in.
We learned about the Missouri Compromise.
Which?
It's basically stating that any state below Missouri, southern U.S. that's in the western area would be slave states, and any western area that's north would be free states.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can eat a piece of your candy.
Along with what Mariah said, we also talked about the Fugitive Slave Act, which came after the Missouri Compromise. I talked about when California became a northern state, the South had an issue or wanted something in return, so they came up with the act that said any slave that ran away from its owner, if found, would be returned, or if you helped that slave, that you would be guilty as well.
That's great. That's great. Yes?
Talk about popular sovereignty where you let people go on slaves or not slaves.
What is popular sovereignty now? Explain to everybody.
When you vote on slaves, or when people let people vote for be slaves or not to be slaves.
The people make the decisions whether they want it to be a slave or a free state or non-slave state. Those are good lead-ins to what we're doing today, because the Kansas-Nebraska Act is going to actually repeal the Missouri Compromise. You know what repeal means? On the sheet that you have that we're going to read through in a minute, there's underlined words that are vocabulary words, that are key words to what we're talking about, and we're going to answer those during the lesson as well. So repeal, I have the definition of what repeal means. It means to revolt or annul, to reverse or annul. Okay? Once again, the lesson today, just like I tell my football team on Wednesdays, we're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna be working fast paced. So you guys won't just hear me talk the whole time. I spoke of it to start with. I'm the leadoff hitter. We're gonna get a lot of information out there to you today, and then we may come back and revisit it before you get assessed on it. Another thing that we're doing today, everyone has an index card in front of you, okay? On the back of the card today, you are gonna write a meaningful question that will be on a test that I'm gonna give you, all right? And it can be a short answer or even a fill in the blank, but I can't have all fill in the blanks, all right? So a meaningful question that goes to your topic that will be on the test. You guys are gonna create your own test today, all right? So that'll be one of your tasks as well. All right, let's move on. All right. What were the issues concerning the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854? Y'all know the Kansas-Nebraska Act? It repealed the Missouri Compromise. Anyone familiar with the Kansas-Nebraska Act, or am I going to introduce it to you for the first time? Does anyone know about it? Give it a shot. All right. The Kansas-Nebraska Act was, everyone was moving west. The country was adding territories. So Kansas and Nebraska were new territories. The issue was slavery. Was it going to be a slave state or a free state? All right. People were flocking in there to place their vote to make it a slave state. And abolitionists wanted it to be a non-slave state. You ever heard Go West, young man? The westward movement, people were going west. And all of this was about the balance of power, which we've already learned in our previous lessons. Everybody wanted power. The southern states wanted the new territories to be slave states. They gave them more power. The abolitionists wanted to be free states. It wasn't necessarily the northern states, it was the federal government that wanted everyone to get along. So does that make sense? That's what we're going to learn about today. I'm not going to go into any more detail. There's much more in detail about the Kansas-Nebraska Act, and you guys are going to tell me about it as we learn in a few seconds here. All right. Other historical events concerning this matter. Popular sovereignty. You already told me what that was, and it fails in this case through the Missouri Compromise. We're going to have a group that's going to explain why. You're going to find out why it failed. The Dred Scott case. It was a case of a slave that lived for a master in a slave state and a free state, and he tried to sue the government to become a free man. You guys are going to tell me about that. And John Brown's raid. Have you heard of these things before? You've heard of them before? Well, you're going to know about them today at the end. Okay? Interesting stuff. It was a crazy dude that tried to take on the government. And it's very interesting. We're going to learn about that. All right? Now, I had a hard time with this right here. I always have a Get Real segment, don't I? And normally, what's my first segment of the day? Football. What do I normally have for my first segment? Football. I didn't have one today. I missed the kickoff. All right, but my Get Real. Would anyone like to add on the events that I've discussed? Anything in your life that you can compare to this? Can anyone think of anything? It was hard for me to compare. I was using the SEC. They added territory. They added teams a few years ago. Anybody familiar with that? Missouri and Texas A&M? They added that, but then I couldn't really come up with a good example. They had to come in there. They wanted. There's one in the east and one in the west. They both couldn't come in the west, so it was a balance of power. That's my example. Does anyone have an example of a Get Real comparison? Coach Spinks, can you help me on this one? This was tough. Normally you can I like to get relative. You put the lesson that you learned in history to today. What is happening today that compares to that? Sure, there are people in the states now that are fighting over power. I mean, everybody wants power and money every day. but an exact example, I had a hard time coming up with. What were you about to say? You're about to add something to it.
The only thing I can think of is, probably, when they were arguing over, abortion has been a big topic forever. And we were watching something on TV the other day, about Eric Rudolph and the abortion bombings and things like that, okay? And so that would be somebody very similar to John Brown, I would guess, in a way, is that they saw the whatever the means were, it justified it in the result right there. And so that's the only analogy that I can think of this thing.
You can have your candy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any candy, that's kind of a tough one, but I think I read something about California, maybe not really considering it, but on some level considering breaking into multiple states instead of one
Yeah.
big state. Well, California tends to be, it is a Democratic state, except in the north, I believe, which is more conservative. So you would have, instead of one Democratic state with 2 senators, you would have 4 Democratic states or 5 Democratic states, each with a new senator, and that sort of, depending on your politics, would disrupt the balance of power in Washington. That's the only example I can think.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I normally try to come up with something we can get real and talk about it in your daily life, but it isn't always that easy. Hold on a second, I'll go back and read this. All right, now, we're in groups. Do we have the team captains?
Yep, they know who they are.
They already have their card? Let me have their cards.
Oh, they're on there. Oh, you want their cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Team captains will get their own index card. You guys are leaders of your group. You're gonna help me out. All right?
They want their name on it or what?
You just hand
Oh, they got
the
the-
captain the card.
Oh, they've got a card already.
All right, who are the captains? Raise your hand. Okay? So you're in charge of your group. So I need you to assign one person, secretary, I don't know if it's a good word, a person that's gonna write out,
Record it.
they're gonna write out the presentation. The captain is gonna give a 2-minute presentation here at the end of the group period about your topic. Okay? Group 1, who has group 1? Who has group 1? Right here. It's on your card. Group 1. It's on your card. The captain card.
I think I did the wrong thing. Oh, okay, all right, sorry. My bad. That was my fault, I goofed that one. All right, there we go. That was my bad.
All right, I can always give them out. Each group's gonna have a speaking captain. You're gonna give me a 2-minute presentation, and we'll have a minute for question and answer. It ain't gonna be much. All right? Everyone in the group is going to is gonna fill out their index card with a question and an answer, a thoughtful one that's gonna be on the test. You're gonna give that back to me. That's one of your tasks. All right? The speaking captain will assign one person, their assistant, to help write out where you can present your topic in a 2-minute period that everyone can learn from. We're going to learn from each other. Everyone has a different topic. So group 1 is who? Group 1 is, your topic is the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Group 2, because we have an extra group, your Kansas-Nebraska Act, because there's so much to learn on that. All right? Y'all follow me so far? Group 3, on your sheet, I messed up, I had a typo. So Dred Scott is group 4. Who's group 4? And group 5 is John Brown's raid. All right. Now, y'all have any questions? So, so the captain, you're going to have your assistant that's going to help you prepare your presentation, and then the rest of them will be researchers, and y'all are going to come up with 2 key facts. You're going to come up with one from this sheet right here that I'm providing you, and one you can use your technology. And I know we don't use it in history that often, but Wikipedia. But it's pretty factual on the basic facts of what we're trying to learn today. So everybody's on the same side. So you bring one fact from here, one on Wikipedia, you write it down, you give it to the secretary. The secretary is going to sort out what's important, and then the person that presents it's going to give it. We're going to see what group does the best. And maybe I'll give the first group a prize or something. We'll see who does the best presenting. All right, now I need